Welcome. Please enjoy this tour of the Dr. Loosen and Villa Wolf estates, located in southwest Germany. The Villa Wolf estate gets its name from the Italian-style villa that was completed in 1843. A majestic sycamore tree dominates the picturesque courtyard. Ernst Loosen's family has been making wine on the Mosel for over 200 years. The picturesque estate is located just outside the village of Bernkastel-Kues. Here you see the beautiful gardens in front of the Villa Wolf estate. This villa was completed in 1843. The Villa Wolf estate is located in the Pfalz region of Germany. In the courtyard, you can see stables where the animals that were used for vineyard work were kept. These stables have now been converted to apartments for private housing. In our estate vineyards, we try to work as naturally as possible. This is Claudia, our vineyard manager. Right now, she is bending the vines to get them ready for the growing season. To avoid using plastic or rubber bands, we actually use branches from willow trees, which is more sustainable. Driving the tractor is winemaker Patrick Mullendorf. The tractor is fitted with special plates on the side. He's basically twisting the ground underneath the vines in order to prevent weed growth. This method allows us to completely avoid using herbicides in our estate vineyards. In fact, we are actually on our journey for our estate vineyards to be organically certified by the 2022 vintage. Now, let's join Ernst Loosen as he talks about the Villa Wolf Gewürztraminer.
Gewürztraminer is a grape variety, also very old historic grape variety for Germany or Alsace, you know it possibly more from, you know. And this grape variety is an aromatic grape variety. It has a slightly sweetness, very aromatic, very floral, and works very well with cheese. In Alsace they eat the Munster cheese. We love blue cheese with it, you know. Blue cheese is great with Gewürztraminer, but it is also very famous to have it with Chinese dishes. Because Chinese dishes can be sometimes a little bit spicy or have a kind of, herbal taste. And then Gewürztraminer is absolutely gorgeous. In this case, I take some blue cheese with it. So, folks, cheers.
Moving northwest from the Pfalz region to the Mosel, you find the Dr. Loosen estate just outside the village of Bernkastel-Kues. The Middle Mosel has some of the steepest and most picturesque vineyards in all of Germany. Here again, Ernst Loosen, owner of the Dr. Loosen estate and former Decanter Man of the Year.
Hi, I'm Ernst Loosen of the Dr. Loosen estate on the Mosel. The Dr. Loosen estate is a typical family estate which has been in the family about 200 years, and throughout all these years our focus has been always to plant and to grow Riesling, which is the typical varietal you find here on the Mosel. The reason is that in 1787 the last Prince Bishop of Trier made a law that promoted the planting of Riesling in areas under his rule. This turned out to be a very wise decision because Riesling clearly does well on the Mosel because we have the right soil here, and this soil is the slate soil, which helps produce beautiful, racy and minerally driven wines with a very refreshing character. You can produce wonderful dry wines here, as well amazing fruity style wines like Cabernet and Spätlese. The dry wines work very well with all types of fish dishes and traditional, European cuisine, and the fruitier style works very well with the spicier Asian cuisine. When I took over the family estate in 1988, sadly Riesling was totally out of fashion. Even that Riesling used to be, around turn of the century, 1900, one of the most expensive wines in the world, often 2 to 3 times more expensive as first growth clarets.
The estate house has recently been renovated to include 7 luxuriously styled guest house rooms, as well as a new dining facility, terrace, and courtyard. And of course, there are plenty of world-class Rieslings to be enjoyed in the new tasting room. In case you cannot make it in person, here again is Ernst Loosen discussing the Wählener Sonnenur Riesling Cabinet, as well as dispelling some of the myths about the complexity of German wine labels.
Here you see the Dr. Loosen name on the label, which is obviously the brand name or the estate name. Then you see the name of the village, which is in this case Velen. And the end of the village here is ER, which means from the village of Velen, like New York, New Yorker. New Yorker is from New York. Then you see the name of the vineyard, which is in this case Sonnenuhr. Sonnenuhr means sundial, and the sundial was put into the vineyard 1842 of one of my distant relatives, Jodocus Prüm, and pretty soon after this sundial was built in the vineyard, the surrounding vineyards have been named Sundial Vineyard. The grape is Riesling, and the predicate is Cabinet. The Cabinet is a typical predicate for a rather fruitier style with low alcohol, with a little bit of residual sweetness. It is basically the grapes which we harvest first. In the very beginning of the harvest, the grapes are not yet very ripe, about 9.5 to 10 potential alcohol sugar ripeness. We stop the fermentation after 2/3 of the fermentation to keep a little bit of the residual sweetness back to balance out the high acidity which these wines usually have. You see, all this information, if you can read the label, can give you really great, a guidance what's in the bottle.
Here you see the dramatic slopes of the Middle Mosel. You can also see the Velener Sonnenuhr vineyard sign as well as the sundial, which gives the vineyard its name. This side of the Mosel is dominated by blue slate soil. The inclination of the vineyards gives them better exposure to the sun, and in general they are south-facing, which also helps them have more sunshine hours. Since this region is so far north, these factors are extremely important in helping get the Riesling grape ripe. On the other side of the Mosel, you can find red volcanic conglomerate soil as well as red slate. Also, there are steep slopes on this side of the Mosel as well, like this one in the Erziger Wirtsgarten. Here once again, Ernst Loosen.
I hope you enjoyed this little lecture about our vineyards, about our area, about the Mosel, and about our wines. And I hope that you ever get the chance to come and visit us. Come here and check it out yourself. You see, it's a beautiful area. You can make great vacation. You can taste wonderful wines here from the area and learn about Riesling and the soil and the steep slopes. Anytime, you're welcome to visit us. Thanks.
This concludes the tour of the Dr. Loosen and Willowolf estates. Vielen Dank und auf Wiedersehen.